Welcome to today's English listening practice story. This is a level 3 English story called He Never Called Again. We will also learn 5 new words and answer 3 questions at the end of this story. Let's begin. My name is Margaret, and for many years, my world was small. Just my little house, my garden, and my son Daniel. He promised to visit me every weekend. And for a long time, he kept that promise. Every Saturday morning, I would hear his knock, 3 quick taps. He always brought something small, fresh bread, flowers, or a silly joke he found online. He said he never wanted me to feel lonely. But one Saturday, he didn't come. I waited by the window from morning until the sun slipped behind the trees. Still, no knock. I told myself he must be busy. People forget things sometimes. Life gets in the way. But the next weekend came, and again, nothing. I tried calling him. The phone rang and rang, but he never picked up. I sent a message. No answer. Days passed, then weeks. The house felt louder in its silence. I kept checking my phone every few minutes, hoping for even one small message. "Hi, Mom, I'm okay." At night, I couldn't sleep. I wondered, did he get tired of me? Was I too much? Did I say something wrong? The questions hurt more than the silence. One afternoon, I decided to visit his apartment. I walked slowly, my hands shaking the whole way. The door was painted blue, Daniel's favorite color. I knocked softly. No answer. I knocked again, harder this time. Still nothing. Just when I was about to leave, a neighbor stepped out of her door. "Are you Daniel's mother?" she asked gently. My heart almost stopped. "Yes," I whispered. "Is he all right?" The woman lowered her eyes. She told me Daniel had moved out weeks ago. She didn't know where he went, only that he left very early one morning carrying a suitcase. My chest tightened. He moved, and he didn't tell me? I walked home slowly, feeling like the whole world had shifted. I didn't understand why he would disappear like that. For months, I lived between hope and fear. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart jumped. But it was never him. Then, one rainy evening, I heard a knock at my door. Not 3 taps, just one. Soft, hesitant. When I opened the door, I almost collapsed. It was Daniel, but he looked different. Pale, thin, tired, older somehow. "Mom," he said quietly, "I'm sorry. I should have called. I wanted to. Every day." His voice cracked. He walked inside and sat down slowly, as if sitting hurt. Then he told me the truth. He had been sick, very sick. A serious illness had taken him to another city for treatment. He didn't want me to worry, so he kept it a secret. He thought he could finish treatment quickly and come back like nothing happened. But it got worse. Some days he could barely stand. Other days he couldn't speak. He told me he felt ashamed, like he failed. "I didn't want you to see me like that," he whispered. "I thought maybe you'd be disappointed. I wanted to protect you." Tears filled my eyes, and I reached for his hand. "Daniel," I said softly, "you could never disappoint me. I only wanted you safe. Nothing else matters." He looked at me, his eyes glistening with relief and sorrow all at once. For the first time in months, he smiled a little, a tired but real smile. "I was so scared, Mom. Scared you'd hate me for not calling, for disappearing." We sat in silence for a long while, listening to the rain tapping on the windows. Somehow, that quiet became comforting. It was a moment of forgiveness, understanding, and reunion all at once. Over the next few weeks, I helped him recover. I cooked his favorite meals, reminded him to rest, and held his hand through the hardest nights. I realized then how much we had both missed, not just the visits, but the small moments of everyday life. One evening, as we watched the sunset from my garden, he said softly, "Mom, I promise I'll never disappear like that again, no matter what." I squeezed his hand, smiling through my tears. "And I'll always be here, Daniel, always." Life slowly returned to its rhythm. The knocks on my door became regular again. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes just a soft tap, but it no longer mattered. What mattered was that we were together and that the silence had finally ended. I learned that love isn't just about promises. It's about patience, understanding, and the courage to forgive. And sometimes, even when someone disappears from your life, it doesn't mean they're gone forever. That day, as Daniel laughed at a silly joke I made, I realized the truth I'd always known. No matter what happens, a mother's love is never silent, and a son's love can find its way back home even after the longest absence. Vocabulary preview. Promise. A statement that you will do something. Example, he promised to visit me every weekend. Hesitant. Unsure or slow to act. Example, just one, soft, hesitant. Ashamed. Feeling guilty or embarrassed. Example, he told me he felt ashamed. Reunion. A meeting after a long time apart. Example, it was a moment of forgiveness, understanding, and reunion all at once. Patience. Ability to wait calmly. Example, love isn't just about promises, it's about patience, understanding, and the courage to forgive. Questions for listeners. 1. Why did Daniel stop visiting his mother? 2. How did Margaret feel when she finally saw Daniel again? 3. What lesson about love and family can we learn from this story?